In the fall of 2024, my husband and I traveled north visiting family members and some of our children and grandchildren, my husband's family who lives in New York City, my siblings who live in Maine. When we take long trips, we like to make the most of it, so we planned some special stops along the way. New York City was one of those stops. In this video, I'm going to take you on a little tour of the Big Apple, as some people call it, the melting pot. New York City is like no other city. Some also call it the city that never sleeps. Our first stop was Delaware, so we had to cross the Delaware Memorial Bridge. I remember the first time crossing this bridge and feeling very nervous about it because it's very high. But now that I have crossed it so many times, I am no longer afraid of it. The Delaware Memorial Bridge crosses the Delaware River between Newcastle, Delaware, and Pennsville Township, New Jersey. It took $44 million to build this graceful 440-foot high span. The bridge opened in 1951. By 1955, nearly 8 million vehicles were crossing the bridge every year, so a twin span was built, opening in 1968. Today, more than 100,000 vehicles crosses the twin spans on their combined total of 8 lanes, 4 each. This bridge is a memorial to those who were killed in World War II, the Korean War, the War in Vietnam, and the Persian Gulf War. Every year on Memorial Day and Veterans Day, ceremonies are held at the bridge's War Memorial to honor their sacrifices. We crossed a lot of bridges as we traveled north.
The Goethals Bridge is one of 3 Staten Island bridges linking New York and New Jersey, crossing the strait known as Arthur Kill. This is a major route for traffic moving between Brooklyn and New Jersey with direct connection via Staten Island Expressway, which is I-278, to the Verrazano Narrows Bridge. The Goethals Bridge was named after General George Washington Goethals, who was a Brooklyn native that supervised the construction of the Panama Canal. He was also the first consulting engineer of the Port Authority of New York. The original Goethals Bridge, built in 1928, was demolished in 2018 and replaced with the new cable-stayed bridge. Cable-stayed bridges are among the most efficient type of bridges for long spans built with a steel superstructure. Their lightweight adds to their longevity and are more economical to build. They have minimal piles that keep the channel free from the passage of deep-sea vessels. This bridge has a 140-foot clearance. The height of its towers were not to exceed 278 feet so as not to hinder airline flight patterns. Plus, they allowed ice to slide off, falling away from the roadway during winter months. This bridge coming up is the Verrazano Narrows Bridge. It crosses New York, parts of New York Bay, or New York Harbor, and it connects Staten Island to Brooklyn. Back in 1963, when it was completed,
I was 3 years old.
It was the longest bridge in the world, as a matter of fact. And if you look at, see that they're painting it.
Painting it?
They're painting a different gray.
What, darker gray?
Yeah, they have to paint it like that so they can control the corrosion, keep corrosion away.
Is it steel?
Yep.
And it's same style as the San Francisco Bridge?
Yes.
How tall are the towers?
600 and, I remember, 630 or 40 feet tall.
And what is so unique about the Verrazano Bridge?
It is a very, very long bridge, and the towers are very, very high. Like I say, over 600 feet tall. And it is a vital link to Staten Island and to Brooklyn.
In 2 miles, take exit 16 on the left to merge onto Belt Parkway East toward John F. Kennedy Airport.
So it's a very important bridge Vital for the traffic. All kinds of goods, all kinds of commerce travel across this bridge.
And it's also a high bridge to allow ships to pass underneath. So would that be Manhattan over there?
Yes. And all the way to the left, you see another skyline. That's Jersey City.
Further out.
You see one to the left, all the way to the left. You see more skyscrapers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Jersey City.
Jersey.
Jersey.
Manhattan. Joyce. Gotta say it the Joyce way.
Jersey.
To go underneath the same bridge.
That's where the main anchor for the bridge, those long, huge cables, that's where they are attached somewhere in all that concrete.
In this angled concrete.
Mm-hmm. It's like a bulkhead. It's a very, very heavy system. And, oh, here's a very nice shot right here.
Through the trees. Yeah, good shot.
Oh, here, right here. It's the opening right here. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
If you want, you go to the window now. If you want to angle.
It's okay.
The Verrazano Narrows Bridge crosses over the Narrows, a body of water linking New York Harbor with the Atlantic Ocean. The ends of the bridge are at historic Fort Hamilton in Brooklyn and Fort Wadsworth in Staten Island, both of which guarded New York Harbor at the Narrows for over a century. Prior to its construction, ferries were the only means of travel between Staten Island and Manhattan and Brooklyn. Each tower weighs 27,000 tons and is held together with 3 million rivets and 1 million boats. Seasonal contractions and expansions of the steel cables caused the double-decked bridge roadway to be 12 feet lower in the summer than in the winter. It has 13 lanes of traffic, 7 on the upper deck, one of those being high-occupancy vehicles lane. The lower deck was added in 1969 and has 6 lanes.
I had read that the Verrazano name wasn't a favorite among New Yorkers. Some believe the story of Giovanni de Verrazano, who was the first European explorer to sail into New York Harbor, was not accurate, and that Henry Hudson rightly deserved the credit for entering the New York Harbor. Staten Islanders preferred the bridge being named the Staten Island Bridge or the Narrows Bridge. But with a push from the Italian Historical Society of America, the Governor Nelson Rockefeller ended all disputes over the bridge's name and signed legislation making Verrazano Narrows Bridge the official name on March 9th in 1960.
Projects. Project or condominiums. Those are old projects, the apartments, and some of the new looking ones. Yeah, you can say that they're apartments. People like to call them condominiums. They're really not. See that big tall one?
Yeah.
They consider that a condominium.
1995, we brought the whole family to New York City. Here's a short clip of that trip.
I have to keep asking Dad if we're there yet. It seems like he always takes the long way. Are we there yet? Oh, why does it have to take so long to get where we want to go? Are we there yet? Some of the song we knew to sing and some that we didn't know. Why couldn't we go? it's so long together. I want to go. Are we there yet? We've sung every song we knew to sing and some that we didn't know. Why couldn't we go a shorter way? I wonder if we'll get there today. Somebody tell me, are we there yet? Are we there yet?
When we cross the George Washington Bridge, we will be in New York City. Here is the bridge.
Over on your right is the Hudson River.
Yes, we're now in New York City. Times Square ahead. Where's the David Letterman thing?
Shut up. This bus is
Right behind the bus or above?
yeah.
I'm not sure. Oh,
Yellow
the
letters.
David,
Yeah, the yellow
the
letters.
Late Show. The David Letterman. Lots of yellow taxicabs. Famous.
Hot dogs. Denver. Only way to eat a hot dog.
Are they really the best hot dogs in the world? Yeah, this is entertainment. Watching the way people drive in New York City.
You could be nerve-wracking.
I mean, the way people have to dodge lanes, make their own way. This taxi cab driver is out of his car. It's really hot. The fall is a great time to visit New York City. The weather is nearly perfect, not too hot or too cold. We were lucky to have sunny days and blue skies on this trip. We rented a very nice Airbnb apartment in Queens to stay while we visited New York for a few days. The apartment was in a nice neighborhood on a quiet street. The nearest train station was less than a 10-minute walk. New York City's subway rail system will take you to just about anywhere around the city. We parked our vehicle at the Airbnb and left it there for our entire visit, depending on the New York City railway system to get around. Over 8 million people live in New York City, and many of them don't even own a car because the train system will take them to work, shopping, and home, wherever you want to go. We spent a lot of time traveling on the subway. We visited my husband's family in Brooklyn. When you take a trip to New York, be sure you get on the right train and that you're headed in the right direction. A couple of times we got on the wrong side and headed in the opposite direction that we intended to go. That makes your day longer. When that happens, you have to find a transfer station to connect with the right train going in the right direction. So much of it, like, it's messy. It's really messy. This store is her house, right? Her apartment building? Right? No.
Yep.
Yeah. The train system is now cashless, so be sure to carry a credit card to fill up your pass and keep track of your balance so that you have enough for your return trip. Or you just might get stuck at an inconvenient location and not able to refill the pass. That did happen to me once, but somebody passerby rescued me.
And those used to be a factory. Those are condominiums now. Oh, that used to be a factory. That big tall white building is new. This big huge one here is also new.
Across the way, is that Manhattan in the background?
Say again?
Is that way across, the tall buildings, all the way across? Is that Manhattan?
All the way, no, that's,
Over
way
there.
back in there?
Back over there.
That's Queens.
Queens.
Over to your left, of course, Manhattan, tall building.
And one more tip. When visiting New York City, wear comfortable shoes because you will do a lot of walking and stair climbing.
Here we are inside the Empire State Building. Oh, whoa, look down. Wow. Look down, Jacob. Look down.
Ugh, that is scary.
Yeah.
Don't drop that.
Oh, drop it.
You know what's going to happen.
Yeah, look at that.
Look down.
Look at Mom, she's close. What does Mom think of the Empire State? Of the Empire? We're looking at downtown Lower Manhattan, way out there in the harbors. It's the Statue of Liberty. And that building there, that rectangular building, that's the United Nations building. And this is looking down 34th Street with all those little toy cars. And right there, another building is going up. The only place available in New York City is the sky. Every time they build straight up. Right there in the middle, well, that's the Chrysler building. And that building there used to be the Pan Am building. They used to land helicopters on the roof. Not anymore, because at one time they had an accident. A couple of people were killed. Way out there, that's the Verrazano Narrows Bridge. Once again, we're looking at downtown Lower Manhattan, where the Twin Towers used to be.
I have been to New York many times, but had never seen the Statue of Liberty up close, always from a great distance. So I decided this was something I had to do on this trip. We went to Lower Manhattan, which is called downtown. That is where the World Trade Center is, the 9/11 Memorial and Museum, and not far from there, you can catch the ferry to Liberty Island to see the Statue of Liberty, and also Ellis Island, where there's a museum. You can learn about the first immigrants who came to America, but you have to purchase tickets to take the ferry and the tour. You can't just go get in line for the ferry without tickets. There are many places where you can purchase tickets. We bought ours online from TripAdvisor. We had to meet up with our tour guide at a specific location, and she escorted us to the ferry that would take us to the island. Along the way, she shared bits of historical information with us. It seemed like our visit to the Statue of Liberty took up half the day. The ferry was quite full, all 3 decks. Most people flocked to the top level to get the best view, but then when we got close to our destination, there was a mad rush to the lower deck to exit the ferry. Once on the island, a tour guide gave us a liberty to explore the island, to go inside Lady Liberty if we chose. She assigned a time and a meeting place to regather our group. I'm told that if you go up inside, you can get spectacular views of the surrounding area, and being that the weather was so perfect, it would have been amazing, but I just couldn't do it. She doesn't have elevators, only stairs, so I couldn't do it. so we opted to just walk all the way around her base, taking photos from different angles. Lady Liberty faces the Atlantic Ocean to welcome the incoming ships entering the harbor to greet the immigrants coming to America with dreams of a brighter future and having freedoms that Americans enjoy. Bird, you want to be in my video? This is a New York City seagull. He's come over here to visit us. He thinks we have food, but we don't. We're not eating anything. We then took the ferry to Ellis Island and learned more of the hardships and difficulties the new immigrants faced as they migrated to America. It has been a lovely day, but it is time to head back to our Airbnb. We will visit the 9/11 Memorial, and an unexpected, unplanned visit was quite surprising tomorrow. Exit the train station. One more flight of stairs to go. Now we're done climbing stairs, right? Come back tomorrow for part 2 of our lovely New York City tour. Be sure to subscribe so you can catch the notifications for my next video. Thanks for watching.